Just got this 250 racing quad ready to fly off eBay. This whole kit was for $3.99 and free shipping. So I'm gonna go over it real quick and show you what a good deal it was. We'll start with the goggles. A lot of times you look at and you'll see these 250 racing kits, but none of them come with like a full package with goggles, a battery, a charger, remote, everything just ready to go. So even if you see ones for $2.99 or look cheaper, or even $500, I've seen them. I don't see any ones that come with everything for this price. So this is pretty cool, pretty good deal. The goggles look like they're really well made. Everything's like really secured in place. They did these wires up to the top there, good. So that everything's secure. Nothing's dangling. I mean, of course the strap is, but that goes on your head. So it has like a really secure feel. Um, and you got Velcro on the top. You can see where you just stick your battery, and that holds it really good. That's pretty smart. It's pretty smart for them to put that there. And then it just connects, and then you got your lens that you can adjust, and it's very comfortable in your head. They even put the little felt tips there, so the goggles are very well done. Comes with a simple B3 AC 3-cell charger, where it charges both batteries just by plugging in the balancing port on both batteries. And in my experience, it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to charge a completely dead battery here, and maybe like 45 minutes for this small 1000. Battery it comes with is a 11.1 volt 35C Fluorion battery, which is enough power to get this thing up and moving. And if you're flying conservatively with this 1500, I got about 11 minutes, 11 and a half minutes, which isn't bad at all. The time on this battery for the goggles, I don't know. They last multiple flights. I've never had it die on me, but I just charge it every few flights just to be sure. Now I put this little lanyard on the transmitter because I like having it around my neck, but it's a good transmitter. I mean, it's not the most crazy, but I haven't had any dropouts. It's still got the plastic on the screen here, so that's why you see that. I'll take that off later. And it came out tuned really well. It has leaving a little port in the back. So this is great for a racing quad. I wouldn't use this remote for like a quad that you're trying to get photography for, where you're going high and far long distances. But for racing around the ground, this is great. Maybe trust it up to about quarter mile, and I've gotten some pretty good ranges off of it. The quad itself is I really like the build. The way the builder did it, I find pretty good. I mean, yeah, they have the LEDs that are sticking out here, but they are like blocked by the thing, by the motors, so they're semi-protected. And they're not that important to me anyway, but I have crashed with this thing, and the only thing that's ever broken is the propellers. I've had this for not too long, but so far, in my opinion, it's been good. Oh, left this remote on. Here we go. Now, looking at the underbelly of the quad, it's kind of looking like underneath a car. This is where all the wiring was done. And it's actually pretty neatly done. When you first glance at it, you're like, whoa. But then when you look at it more closely, you see all the wires are nice, neatly zip tied into there. The soldering is really good. I mean, I could actually pick up the quad with the wire. So these wires aren't going anywhere. They're solid solders. Also, it's got the little feet, which are actually really durable. They're on there solid. So and then that protects it, so you don't have the bottom touching anything. And it's not really a concern, because the only time that anything would short out here is if you put this on a pile of like screws or something, metal, and you're never going to do that. Now, I have to tell you, another reason why I like the way the seller set this up with everything on the bottom is because if I was to crash and burn out a speed controller or motor, uh, all I have to do is simply desolder these two and just take it right out. I mean, there's no having to take this whole thing apart or like shimmy wires through everything. Just take it right out and just throw a new one right there, zip tie it all up, and good to go right back out into the races. So this is really like a racing design here with the control board on the outside here like this. So I really like that, and I think it's a good build. Just like the goggles, the racing quad here has Velcro to put your battery on, and so that just goes on there like that, and it's a good hold. But the seller also gave us a strap just for extra precaution, and I'll show you how this goes on. So what you do is you shimmy the strap through the bottom two plates here, and this will allow you to just tighten it on there like that. So it's a nice little setup, and it really holds that battery good. So if there's any kind of incident, nothing's going nowhere. So that's pretty good. Now, to my surprise, the seller added something which he didn't mention in the ad, and is very useful. And now that's back here is this cell. Well, I guess it just reads the voltage of your cell, and it makes a super loud beep when your battery gets low. So it's like a nice warning, low voltage warning, I guess is what you would call it. But I'll show you how to hook this up. Simply take the balancing cord, and you just have the negative facing forwards, and then you just plug that in right down there. There you go. And see, look, it says 3 cells. All the total cells is 12.6. Cell number 1 is 4.6 volts. Cell number 2 is 4.2 volts, and cell number 3 is 4.22. All is 12.8. So this will continue to cycle that screen while you're flying, and then when it gets to, I think it's about 10 volts, it makes a screaming, pretty awesome beeping noise, and so that prevents you from having an accident due to low battery and protects your lipos. And that's a nice little thing that the seller just threw in there on his quads without even mentioning in the ad. So I was happy to see that. Okay, now I'm just gonna plug it in, show you some of the LEDs right here. It's hard to do with one hand. Okay, so now you can see we have the balancer plugged in and the power. So the balancer is an option. You don't have to have that. I mean, not the balancer. The voltage meter is an option. You don't have to have that plugged in to fly. It's a good to have though. So here's the LEDs. We have a pretty bright red one in the back, and then the bottom, you got your flashing down there. That one's really nice. It's flush mounted with a it looks like a sink or something. And then in the front, of course, you have your green, and then various random lights throughout. So it's pretty cool looking. And let's go out and fly. Alrighty, so I decided to come out here and ride my motorcycle out to the waterfront to get a good flight. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if this works.